Hey everybody, so we are back here at the 2nd Brigade Fallen Warrior Memorial. We did film this in the 28th Infantry Division Memorial video that came out yesterday. I'd filmed that about 3 or 4 days prior, and I really truly did not understand the significance of this memorial. Like, you do, but you don't, because I just read a little bit, because I hadn't read the entire thing until I did the audio work for that video. It's really one of those significant memorials that truly is something that you can hear a little bit. You can see, and I'll show you closer up, there's actually dog tags of the 83 men that this is dedicated to, or 83 men and women that this is dedicated to. And all our dog tags are hanging down from the top, and it works almost like, to some degree, like a wind chime. I mean, it's sort of hitting up against the sides of the obelisk, but I didn't realize those were in there until I read this thing, and then to truly understand how extraordinary, how important this memorial is. So I wanted to dedicate a video directly to this. And we talked a lot about like this being sort of like trench art, starting in World War I because of the idea of trench art, and that's in essence what this is. This is made over in Ramadi, Iraq, during Operation Iraqi Freedom. I think in 2006 was brought over here and then dedicated. So we're going to flip this around and we're going to show you a bunch of these things to talk about the symbolism. So the first thing is, this thing is, I'm assuming, was probably made out of materials from weapons that were ruined. The obelisk here, it has these holes torn in it, sort of symbolic of warfare and what they went through. And inside of that are the 83 dog tags, 82 that were killed by enemy fire, and then one that had been killed in just an outside fatality. You know, something happened, accident or whatever. But it's sort of really, really unique. You have on the bottom, you have the armor, which is symbolic of the strength of this division and what they went through. And then you also have the names of the 83 individuals here on the bottom. And then each one of these keystones symbolizes something to do with their struggle. This is the ballistic glass that was broken. This is symbolic of the struggle and the fight that these individuals, the ones that have survived, that they lived through, and those who had fallen and left and went on. This over here is polished steel. And the idea is, if you look in it, you can see your reflection, and in that reflection you can see that the reflection of the fallen warrior. Over here you see marble as a keystone. The object of this keystone is to show the strength, the resolve, and the mission on which they went through and how they were dedicated to that mission. And last is a piece of wood that is red stained, and that is symbolic of the blood that was shed by our comrades. But as you look up in through here, let me see if I can get a right angle here. You can see the dog tags up in there. You can see some of them right there. But there is a total of 83 of these dog tags up throughout here, and they'll sort of, as the wind goes through, they'll hit up against the sides. I think the closest thing I can say this is symbolic of, like the eeriness of it and the symbolism, would be the Flight 93 Memorial, where they have the tower. I think it's the Tower of the Winds. And you just sort of, I guess the idea is, as you hear the dog tags clanging, it's the voices of the fallen. And at the very top, you'll see at the top of the obelisk, see if we can get there without me falling, going backwards. On the top is that glass, the ballistic glass. And the idea is that they are shining through eternity up through the top of that obelisk. But extraordinary, poignant monument, memorial. It's well worth visiting here in Fort Indian Town Gap. It's straight across from Muir Airport. But this is a reminder of the young men and women who gave their lives for our freedom. And you know, as we're coming up here on Memorial Day, a memorial like this is something that I think a lot of people don't realize is here. And you look at this and you realize how fortunate we are to live in a country and be so blessed. And right here is a reminder of the strongest amongst us. So thank you as always for coming along, and we will see you all about town.